The happiest slugs in life or the slowest slugs? Welcome to 28 days it's been. 28 days of living hell that I've been, frankly, not being able to find a job. Or you can say unemployed. When I think about why my happiness is lacking, my happiness could be lacking for a lot of different things, but definitely it's up there with money. Sadly enough, we worry about money so much in life that it becomes almost life or death, whether you succeed or not. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like it's life or death, whether you have money or don't have money. At the end of the day, whether we die or live, it doesn't come to the grave with us. So, us worrying about it every single day kind of doesn't matter. But then you tell people, oh, you should be financially stable, you should have money, you should have an apartment, you should have a house, you should have a nice car, you should have a wife, you should get married. All these people are telling you things that they want your production of your life, what they want it to be. But maybe we live in the forest, maybe we live in a cabin or we live in our car, and seeing that vision of possibly living in a house, especially when houses are like 500,000 to $1 million right now. You would have to save for I think 10 or 20 years to. That's if you can save money. So you would have to save 10 or 20 years to even like afford even fucking owning a house. So people are wondering why I'm pissed off. Like why am I mad or angry? And this is what pisses me off. This is what gets me angry. And this gets what gets me hyped up is hyped up expensive houses. That's the shit that hypes me up. Well, too expensive because us poor people can't afford that shit. So even like I can cut all my bills down, but the solution is not working a shitty 9 to 5 job, maybe or maybe not. Just so you guys know, I've been actually applying for jobs. I keep applying for jobs, but my happiness, I think, just keeps lacking, just keeps going down, and people are asking me like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I don't think it's depression. I don't think it's anything like that. It could be depression, but I'm not gonna let a doctor decide whether I'm depressed or not because I can't find a job. I just accept the reality of my situation. The reality of my situation is that I'm applying for jobs and I can't get a job. But how's this helping me? You know, like what? How are people helping me when I can't find a job? And it gets to the point of frustration, insanity, that I frankly can't keep up. I can't keep up with my bills. I can't keep up with the things that are going on in my life. So it creates a void of my actual happiness. It's such a crazy reality that we live in where like you see you like I'm not gonna say the name, but he says we're in the Matrix and all this stuff. Whether I'm in the Matrix or not, this must be a shitty version of the Matrix because I want to actually live a good life. Like if they say we're in a virtual reality video game, why can't I be winning at the shit? Like why do I have to be losing constantly? Or is this programmed into the Matrix we're living? If we are living in a simulated computer, of what people say. I don't know if that's true or not. I just know for damn sure that this is a shitty reality. This is definitely a shitty reality. Um, where some people don't have health insurance and all this shit. Now they're talking about like, I mean, on a daily basis, I think about being unemployed probably hundreds of times. How many times do you guys think about being unemployed? I think the more that I think about it, the more I worry. And the more I worry, the more I worry about my friends, my family, my like how am I going to even get a girlfriend? Like even if I know how to get a girlfriend, how am I going to even financially support her or buy her the stuff that she actually wants? Like little things like this is what goes through my head, and the answer is I have no fucking idea. So she may date me, and I'll be like, I have no money, I don't know what to do. She'll be like, see ya. And I'll be like, whatever, it is what it is. they say love is not financial based, but most of 50% marriages it is financial based. So what is it? Is it so if we think about like us being in the relationship, I wouldn't say it's prostitution or anything like that, but I would say that there's exchange of value. So you're with a wife where you think that you can get a higher value or return on your investment with her of sleeping with her constantly. But then get this, then you have kids and then you have a family and you have blah 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 blah. Then you got to deal with all this bullshit, and I don't have time for all this. Like if I'm working 60 or 70 hours a week, how the fuck do I have time to even raise a child or any of this stuff, or even date a woman at all, or go to social events? Like this is a trap that society and capitalism put us in. But I can't accept that reality. I can't accept that I'm gonna die poor, or I'm gonna own nothing and be happy. I think we need to take baby steps of where we want to go, because where we want to go is like, hey, we want to find at the end of the rainbow, the pot at the end of the rainbow is the gold. So we have the gold of the end pot of the rainbow, but we're here at the shitty part of the rainbow. We're here where we have massive inflation, hyperinflation. People take advantage of people for money. People sue people. Like we live in this reality, but we're trying to get here where everyone has like free, unlimited money. If that's where we're trying to go, so if you gotta think about the future, like, are we gonna have 9 to 5 jobs in the future? Probably not. Like, why would we have 9 to 5 jobs in the future? The only reason we have 9 to 5 jobs is we didn't create enough. What's it called? Labor in the economy to support a fully socialism based playing field. But if you think about socialism or capitalism, it doesn't matter what trail of the rainbow you go down, because that $33 trillion that the government spent, they could have spent that on giving checks to us. So if you think about who's really wasting money, it's the government. But if I'm mad or angry or throw my fist in the air of the government, it's not going to help me. So if it's not going to help me, and me applying for jobs is like a living nightmare. It's a living fucking nightmare. I'm applying for jobs over and over again. I hear people aren't getting jobs for 6 months or a year, and they don't realize, dude, you lose half your pay throughout that year since you haven't been working. So if you get a salary of $40,000, really going to get really just salary is $20,000, and then what happens if you lose your job? Then you only made $20,000. And how are you going to afford your life living in poverty? That's the answer. How am I going to live off uh, trying to get out of poverty? That's the battle cry. The battle cry is to not be poor. I'm not going to die poor. I'm I'm going to own stuff, and I will be happy. Even though they want us to own nothing and be happy, and that's bullshit. And I challenge whoever makes that statement of what do they actually mean? Like, what does that mean? Does that mean they're forcibly putting in systems so we can be poor? It could be. Because if the CEO of Starbucks makes $120 million and we get paid $15 an hour, there's something fucking wrong. And the more that shit goes on, the more it's going to become. Sooner we pay billions of dollars, and we'll be paid 15 or 20 bucks an hour, and you'll wonder why we have money issues when the CEO doesn't have any money issues. He's not even going to spend all that money. That's the whole problem. Like, what are you going to spend $120 million on? Like, that's the real question. Like, you could just disperse that to lower class poverty people. Even if you're doing it for fun, like, okay, I split it in half, so I pay him $60 million, and then I pay some workers a couple $1 million just to even out the playing field. But there's no way they're going to do that, because they don't give a shit about us. They don't care about us. That's Even if they want to be generous to us, they don't give a fuck. Like, I mean, I'm not talking just on Starbucks, but I'm saying you gotta think of the reality you're living. We're living in a reality where poverty is rising, homelessness is rising. If you look in California and LA, they're paying their workers 20 hours dollars an hour to work in like a super dangerous place. Like, I think what's the place that got shut down? Oh, In-N-Out, the In-N-Out place that got shut down. So they got shut down because people were constantly robbing their cars and stuff like that. So imagine you're working for $15 an hour, and there's like criminals robbing your car constantly outside, like breaking your windows. Like, bruh, like that's why we need to be paid more, because we gotta deal with this shit on a daily basis, and it gets to the point where we get depressed or sad, or like me, I'm lacking happiness. I'm lacking. I'm not saying I'm lacking happiness, but I think I'm lacking fulfillment in life a little bit. That's why I'm trying to hang out with friends little more than I usually do, because you need social interaction in life. So if you live in a cubicle box, you still need social interaction with somebody throughout your day, because we're social creatures. We like to socialize, and that's how we build connections. And these connections get us pretty far in life, you know. Every success moment in my life possibly is from a connection, whether it's a district manager that thinks I'm pretty good, doing pretty good, or a general manager, or somebody that has my back. There's people going to support you in life, and then there's people going to try to tear you down. Those people are pretty horrible people. The people that pull you down and do this shit to us on purpose, you know. And now this is the middle of the video, but request a cameo. I can do like a 10 or 15-second cameo, or message me on the link in the bio. I'm not done with the video. I'm done with the bullshit that the employers are putting us through. And I will clap. I will clap to the direction of my life that's been falling apart like a circus. So ever since 2020, I feel like my life has been like a circus. Like, it's been like similar to a clown show on wheels. I mean, if I look, like, I have almost, like, I need to save money. That's the biggest thing. How are we going to supposed to save money when we get paid minimum wage? That's the real question. The answer is not going to work for. The answer is not supposed to be like I work 70 hours a week for minimum wage. Like, if that's happening, that something's wrong with the system, the government. All this shit needs to be fixed, and it's probably going to take 10 or 20 years to fix all this shit of how much damage they did to the economy. Or all they got to do. I mean, people were like, just increase the minimum wage. Like, if I'm applying for jobs, that's going to be harder to get a job now, because the wages increase, because the value increases. So before the minimum wage increases, I recommend being in a job, at least, because you get the full benefits of that. And why are tipped workers taxed? Why is there so many fucking taxes on everything? So I walk into Dollar Tree, I'm taxed. I walk into Burlington, I'm taxed. I walk into McDonald's, I'm taxed. I try to pay my car payment, I'm taxed. Why am I? Oh no, my car payment I have interest on. Like, there's there like to get you somewhere, like interest, tax. Um, I just paid off my firm loan. Um, I think the debt is so dangerous. Debt destroys people. Like, we should have no debt. Consumer debt, in especially in this situation, in the life we're living right now, we shouldn't have no consumer debt, because the more consumer debt we have, the more danger we're at. Because if we lose our income, our debt keeps going. That's the thing. And there's no safety net. There's no like universal basic income like they're talking about, where we get a check every month, which I think is going to be implemented at some point in time, hopefully by some rich person. Because if they gave a shit about any of us, they would do something like that. So all I'm asking is like some like universal basic income. If they can like drop $1 in our paycheck or something every paycheck, or maybe $100 every single month to help us out, like from the billionaires that own these companies. Or maybe they want all the money to themselves, because greed runs this place. Greed runs society. And at the end of the day, greed is what's going to destroy us. Greed is going to destroy this fucking world if we don't get a grip on it. And we got to call out the shit that we see and take people accountable. Because if people take advantage of us, we shouldn't be with them. We shouldn't be working for them. We shouldn't be at a place that has no scalability or anything like that, where the employers, I mean, life's already hard, but then the employers make it harder by hating us. Like, what gives, dude? So we have to deal with the employers like harassing us, all this other shit. Um, it's every single day. Like every single day, I gotta deal with this, you know. And when I apply for jobs on Indeed, I get no responses, and it makes me kind of frustrated. Even though it's been 28 days, like it's of me being unemployed, I couldn't imagine what people are feeling like a year in. What do you guys people think? Subscribe and share and leave comments below. Thanks for watching. And remember, Cameo. Request a Cameo.